Now then guys, how you doing? Welcome back and thank you for joining me again. It's been too long, feels like it's been forever. I've been away and I've got the itch. We're going to get back into it today with rebuilding Juve. Now Juventus, they're not on their arse, let's be honest. They've had a bad couple of seasons. Allegri was sent there to sort it out. And Milan and Inter were basically chasing it this time round. Milan obviously winning on the final game of the season and clinching that Serie A crown. But obviously Juve, they should be there. They're a juggernaut within the Serie A. Within the Italian leagues altogether in Italian football, yes, they've had their scandals, let's be honest, as in Italian football in general. But today, it's all about rebuilding it. So yes, let's see what we can do with Juve. But if you are new to the channel, thank you very much for checking me out. Please like and subscribe, would mean a lot as this channel continues to grow. And those people that have been watching my videos over the last 4 to 5 weeks while I've been absent and away from the channel, just thank you very much. You know, it means a lot that people are still sticking around. But yeah, if you are new, I am back, I'm fresh and I'm ready to go. So yeah, let's get in to rebuilding Juve and dominating in the Serie A and Europe once again. Right then guys, so here we go. We are on the club info screen at Juve. And it's looking alright, let's be honest. Chiellini there, 36-year-old. That is the problem that we've got. We've got quite a few older players at the club now. We've brought some younger players in, as you can see there. Cuadrado is our key player, 33-year-old. A lot of these players are getting past it. But when we have a look at the rivalries, the Mull Derby versus Torino is one of the derbies. Italia Derby versus Inter Milan is the other one. Fierce rivals, we've got Inter and Napoli. And then other rivals, Roma, Torino, Fiorentina, Milan. But let's have a look at the history of the club then. So when we look at the overview, we have been absolutely dominating, as you can see there. First going on and on and on, and then they drop down into 4th place. This season hasn't been much better for them. I just want to take them back to the dizzying heights. Now, is this a proper rebuild that is required? No, absolutely not. But I've been away, I'm rusty, and I need to get back into it. And I reckon rebuilding Juve is the best place to start. So as you can see there, the trophy cabinet is absolutely packed. Last win in the Champions League in 1996. That's the big thing for us. Can we do that? Then looking at the Serie A, like I said, last time they won it was in 2020. The Europa League 1993, the Super Cup in 1996, the Coppa Italia in 2021, so that's only just been won, and then the PS5 Super Cup in 2021 as well. So we've got plenty of opportunity to win silverware, and I reckon, you know, this should be fairly straightforward. Watch it fall apart and we get sacked. That's never happened yet. I've been close a couple of times, but hopefully, like I say, we just cruise through this time round. So looking at the finances then, that's the big thing. We've got 16.2 million in a transfer budget, but I'm only getting 85% of transfer revenue. There may be a bit of financial trouble there. Overall balance is £39 million. Wage budget is 3.5 million. We're currently spending around about that as well. Let's have a look at those debt and loans then. So net debt is £290 million. We transfer debt £13 million. What is the problem there? What's the expenditure? What is killing us? So this season then so far, 1.6 million being spent on tax. We can't really see too much. And then looking at the income then, 143 million incoming from sponsorship. So sponsorship money is there for us. Right, okay, so finances, just to remind ourselves again, I've got 16 million to play with. They're also in Italy. They have all these dodgy transfer systems where the loan players for 2 years and then get them at the end of it. So coming in, we've got Locatelli and Moise Kean. They join us in 2 years' time. They're already at the club, both of them. You know, Moise Kean there, what a player he is. As when I've done the Everton rebuild, he was a player that I missed. If you know, he goes on to be superb. So Moise Kean already with us. Locatelli as well, 23-year-old. Like I say, we've got an old squad, but we're bringing in some youth as well. People that are about to hit the prime. And then Mandragora, he joins Torino, and he's already out on loan there. How much does he go for? 7.5 million, not bad, but we've got £54 million being spent on 2 players that are joining us in 2 seasons, so we're going to have money ready for that. So looking at the competitions wise then, we've got the Serie A, the Coppa Italia, the PS5 Super Cup and the Champions League. So we're straight into the Champions League. We've got an opportunity there. You know, Serie A wise, let's have a look. We always have a look at this anyway, but season preview wise, the expectation is for us to win the league. There we go. Say no more. FM22 doesn't know what's about to happen in the Serie A, with Inter finishing second, Milan third, and Napoli making up the top 4. Jose Mourinho's Roma in 6th place there as well. But yeah, looking good for us so far. What about the development centre then? What talent have we got in the under-20s, under-19? So even in the B team, we've got Martin Palumbo. Looks like a decent player. 19-year-old Norwegian, obviously got some Italian in there as well. Current ability 2-star, potential ability 3.5-star. And then looking at this guy here, Hans Nicolucci Calavagli. That's probably butchered his name there, but currently 2-star player. Potential ability 3.5-star again, 21-year-old, valued at £5.8 million. Has he already been out on loan? He's at loan on Parma last season in the Serie A, and he didn't do anything. So right, We've got a fairly decent reserve team as well. Obviously, we've got players in the Media Dream 11, so we've got Corrado and Dybala. What a player he is. So, yeah, 27-year-old, he will tear it up, no doubt. Can play as the striker, but also behind the striker. Technically, what a player. So, while we're looking at these players, then, we might as well have a look at the dynamics of the squad and how it's looking so far then. So, team cohesion is average, club atmosphere very good, and my support is good as well. Top influencers wise then, up there, I've got one player to support us, Chiellini. We've got Bonucci and Corrado as my team leaders. Bonucci, he's on the other side of 30 as well, isn't he? 34-year-old now, 109 caps for Italy, 8 goals in there. Really good centre-back partnership, but that is something I need to look at improving and sorting out over the next couple of seasons, because if I don't, we're going to be in a world of hurt. So squad depth-wise, and obviously we're setting in a 4-4-2 at the minute, so Dybala is the best player front. We've obviously got Chiesa as well. He's obviously joined us on loan as well, hasn't he? And I think we've got the option to buy with him as well. When we look at the contract info, we'll get him in for £34 million, so very happy with that. We've got Chiesa out on the left-hand side, Corrado on the right. In the midfield, then we've got Bentancur, Weston McKinney, a very good player as well. So like I say, I spoke about these older players, but we've also got some young players in there that can cause trouble as well. Let's get back to that squad depth screen. So Aaron Ramsey in there as well. In the defence then, Chiellini, Bonucci, De Ligt, Alexandro, Danilo. Out on the left-hand side, apparently Chiellini can play out there, but it'd probably be Sandro and Danilo out there. And out on the right-hand side, Corrado and Danilo. We've got some really good players. Siliago as well, 28-year-old. Very, very good players. I am absolutely butchering the pronunciations of these names as well, but never mind. You've heard it all before in many other rebuilds. So yes, that is the squad. So let's just have a look at them as far as wages go then. So the highest paid player is Dybala there, currently on 220k per week. With De Ligt underneath him with 200k. Who's the highest valued player? De Ligt there, up to £92 million. Kulusevski as well, 64 million. Very, very good player. There's an opportunity if I wanted to cash in on these players, I could do, but I think we've got the options. I don't really need to go out in that first season to do a proper rebuild, I don't think. Let's just get some of the older players off the books. Naturally, not my two centre-backs, because they'll see us through the season. But yeah, get some of the older players off the books, some of those 2.5-star players out of here, and then see what we can do in a transfer window. So that's what we're going to do then, guys. We're going to move forward to the start of Season 1, where I'm going to spend that little bit of money that I have got, but I've also got to try and minimise that debt and start reducing it over the next 5 seasons. Right then, guys, so we're back at the start of Season 1, and I've spent a little bit of money. I haven't gone mental. When we look at the finances, I've got 12.5 million still left in the overall budget. Wage budget-wise, 3.5 million. We're currently spending 3.3 million, so we're okay there. Debts and loan-wise, 286 million at net debt is an absolute crippler. And when we look at it there, we've got an overall balance of 40 million pounds. So we're doing all right. It's not great. We haven't been able to go out and spend loads of money. However, we're in a decent place. So leaving us then, the first player out of the door was Federico Bernardacci. Now he has gone off to Roma, so he stayed in Italy for 6.75 million. We actually spent 35 million pounds in Fiorentina. Played 27 times last season. Was transfer listed when I took over. He's not that good anyways. Pace and acceleration, 15 apiece. Crossing 14. I'm not playing with any wide men, so that'll be something to look at when we look at the tactics. But yeah, Bernardacci, he's gone off to Roma. Matteo Perin, the 28-year-old, he's got 2 caps, actually, for Italy. Now, goalkeeper, we let him go to Shakhtar. He left and went for £3 million, where he's played 1 time and conceded once already. He was out on loan, as you know, last season. But yeah, a decent goalkeeper, and I've just had an injury crisis with my goalkeepers actually, so in hindsight, probably wasn't worth letting him go. And the last player to leave then was my star player, Juan Cuadrado. Now he has gone off to Real Madrid for £17 million. He was in his last year of his contract, and I wasn't going to extend it really, so yeah, being able to cash in for £17 million. A very, very good player though. Technically and physically still got it, but at 33, like I say, time to move him on. And then the incomings, I've only brought in 2 players. So I've brought in Philipp Max, the 27-year-old German international with 3 caps. Can play as a left and right back, predominantly for me as a left back. When we look at his career stats, we brought him in for 19.5 million from PSV, where they spent £7 million and he played 31 times last season with 5 goals, and we spent £19.5 million on him. Now, pace and acceleration, 16 acceleration, pace 14, that crossing 16, and like I say, going to play out on that left-hand side, currently valued up to £25 million as it stands. And like I say, goalkeeping issues. Both Szczesny and my backup are both out injured at the minute. So Berkey has joined us, 30-year-old Swiss international with 9 caps. We brought him in for £4.9 million from Borussia Dortmund. where he played 19 times last season. Decent goalkeeper, goalkeeping attributes overall, you know. That aerial read 16, that eccentricity 16 could be an issue. 1-on-1 17, reflex 18, rushing out 18, throw on 16. Very, very good goalkeeper. Is going to be the backup, obviously, once Szczesny comes back, but yeah, decent option there for us. Currently valued up to £7 million, 3.3 million is bottom end. So tactically then, how am I going to play? So we're going to play a 4-3-3 with a false 9, Dybala playing in that role. Now we've got an issue here, as Dybala is in his last year of his contract. Not ideal. He's valued for £48 million now as his contract ticks away. Expires at the end of this season. And I've got a decision to make. Look, if I want to offer him a new contract now, it's an absolute no. He's not prepared to renew his contract at this time as a result of interest being shown from elsewhere. So I need to get this transfer window out the way and look at extending his contract. If not, he will be going in January. I'll still try to get £30 million for him. But yeah, we've got some problems there. So as you can see, we'll line up with a 4-3-3, playing with the false 9 and 2 attacking forwards off Dybala. So Moise Kean and Morata up there as well. I like the way this plays. We're going to play a tick attacker on a positive mentality. We may push a bit more aggressive with that and go attacking. I'm not quite sure yet, but we've had a decent pre-season. When we look at the schedule, you can see they've had a 10-0 victory against Rudat. Not overly worried about that. We lost 3-2 to AC Milan, a 0-0 draw with Olympiacos. But overall, I'm quite happy with how the pre-season's gone as a team get ready and familiarise themselves to this new tactic. When we look at the squad dynamics then, team cohesion's good, club atmosphere is very good, and managerial support is good. I've got no issues. Anybody else? Supporters, yes. Winston McKennie, Max and Berkey, 2 of the players that I've brought in as well. I've got no players that oppose us, 20 players that have no real opinion of us. And then looking at this squad depth, not a lot has changed really. Let's have a look at that formation. Let's go to the 4-3-3. See how it stands. So Dybala, the best player there. Chiesa, Morata, Kulusevski and Kerr George, who is actually injured, is now out for up to 7 weeks. One of the youngsters. Wonder kid in FM21, but yeah, a very good player. So competitions-wise then, like I said, we've got the Serie A, the Coppa Italia, the PS5 Super Cup, where we'll be playing Inter in the final on the 12th of January, and then the Champions League as well. What's the expectation as the season preview goes? Has anything changed? We're 2-1 odds to win now. We've got Szczesny in goal, Danilo, Dybala and Chiesa. 4 players in the Media Dream 11, which is a good place to be. Lautaro Martinez up top. His contract expires. Plenty of time in 5 years, so a lot to do there if you're trying to bring players like that into the club. And then schedule-wise, we start off with games against Bologna, Fiorentina, Atalanta, Sassuolo and Sampdoria. All winnable games there before we take on Inter on the 17th of October. There's no real difficult patches by the look of this. A little bit there, Fiorentina, Inter, Atalanta in January. But how do we end the season? With games against AC Milan. That's the last game of the season. Hopefully, it doesn't come down to that. So yes, we haven't spent too much money. We haven't brought too much in, if I'm completely honest as well. We're just about in the same position as when I took over the squad. So we need to get this season out the way. Got plenty of players that are coming towards the end of the contract, Dybala being the big one. So yeah, hopefully I can get that tied up before the middle of the season. So yeah, we'll move forward now to the end of season 1, where hopefully we've won the league and we've given a decent account of ourselves in the Champions League. Right then guys, so here we are at the end of season 1, top of the league, 1 point clear of AC Milan. Looks like we've edged it on the last game of the season there, as we've played 38 games, plus 75 goal difference, 93 points on the board. Venezia, Cagliari and Sampdoria all getting relegated. Juve, AC Milan, Lazio and Inter making up the top 4. Roma having an absolute shocker. Did Mourinho get sacked? He did, and Joachim Low is the man in charge there. So yeah, winning the league. I'm not surprised by that, if I'm honest. As you look here, 38 games played, 29 wins, 6 draws, 3 defeats all season. We lost to Milan 2-1, Inter Milan 2-1, and to Sassuolo 3-1 there. We scored 111 goals, 36 goals against, making a grand total of plus 75 goals and 93 points on the board. As you can see there, form absolutely banging. 5 wins in 5 towards the end. So looking at the past positions then, yes, we won it on the final game of the season. Big victory for us, I'm assuming, against AC Milan, who dropped down. That is it. So, yes, massive, massive win for us there. As you can see, you know, those top 2 teams swapping around on the final day of the season. So, looking at our performance in all the competitions then, we won the Serie A, as just discussed. We were knocked out in the first round by PSG in the Champions League. Let's have a look at that. So the first knockout round then, as you can see, we lost 7-6 on aggregate, 6-1 there, which means we were 5-1 up in the first game. Is that right? So we can see there, first knockout round, That is absolutely shocking that we've gone out 7-6 to PSG there. We've had a shocker. Competitions-wise then, in the other ones, we finished runner-up in the Coppa Italia, 4-0, battered there by Inter Milan. 17 shots, 9 on target for them. Alexis Sanchez with 2 goals, Carrera, and Perisic with a goal on 45. So we had the opportunity, but we did win the PS5 Super Cup. 3-2 there against Inter Milan. An extra time goal from Morata. 2 goals for him actually on 7 and 94. We had 16 shots, 8 on target, and we get away with it. So 2 bits of silverware, not bad going for the first season. Obviously we got into a final at the Coppa Italia as well. Just had an absolute shocker against PSG where we crumbled. So what about finances then? Well, we've actually got £95 million to play with in a transfer budget, and I'm going to tell you why. So I couldn't keep Paulo Dybala. He just did not want to stay with us, so I had to sell him on to Manchester City, and he left us in a January transfer window. He went for 44 million. You know, he's a £100 million player, but when you get into the last 6 months of your contract, we either risk losing him on a free transfer or I get him sold. So I did, and he played 18 times for us, scoring 10 goals, and then he's gone off to Manchester City in January, where he's played 14 times and scored 7 goals, so he's done quite well there. And then in January, I brought in Luis Felipe at the back. After Chiellini retired in the middle of December, got a career-ending injury. You know, the age that he was, he just hung up his boots, so I had to bring in another centre-back. And Luis Felipe joins us, and we got him for next to nothing as his contract was about to expire. £1.4 million from Lazio. He'd played 19 times for them this season before we got him on. That's an absolute bargain. So yes, joining us is Luis Felipe. But obviously that sorts us out in the transfer budget. We've got 95 million still to play with, and we're getting 100% of transfer revenue now. Wage budget wise is 3.5 million, and overall balance is 93 million. When we look at the debt and loans, 224 million still, and our transfer debt of 16 million pounds. So we've got money to spend, almost 100 million should we want to. So looking at the player stats then, as you can see, Morata with 58 goals, he's been tearing it up. So 38 goals in the league, 58 overall, 7 in the Coppa Italia, 11 in the Champions League. Where did he fare then in comparison to everyone else? He's got to be the top goal scorer, surely. So looking at the player overview, Morata there with 38 goals, Immobile with 33 for Lazio, but yeah, not bad going at all. 32 starts, 38 goals in the league. He also had the highest average rating with a 7.8. Most assists was Danilo with 17. Best pass completion was De Ligt with 98%. Most player of the match awards was Morata with 13. Most yellow cards was Locatelli with 16. And most red cards, Bentancur, Sandro and Weston McKennie with 1 apiece. So looking then at the team stats. Team stats wise then, we scored 111 goals, which is the best. We conceded 36, which is the 4th best. Yellow cards wise, 93, which is the 6th worst. And red cards 2, which is the 6th best. And the average attendance was the 4th best, just over 38,000. So quality start to the campaign for us. 1 season in, and we've won Serie A already. You know, the worst is behind us. Hopefully that's the case. We have dominated, yes. We only finished 1 point clear of AC Milan, but 111 goals this season. Just got to work on those goals conceded, but it's about strengthening at the back now. And we have a look at the squad and these average age of these players. Like I say, we've got lots of old players. Bonucci, 35. Chesney, 32 in his prime for a goalkeeper. Berkey, 31. We have a goalkeeper. Ramsey and Sandro, both 31. And Danilo, 30. So those players we may look at moving on. Alexandro, though, still a 3.5-star player. Bonucci, still a 4-star player. So opportunity to move some players out of there. Looking at his transfer value then. Matthijs de Ligt is valued at £120 million should we want to sell him on. Not going to happen. But if we did, we'll get 100% of transfer revenue off that. But yeah, like I say, not going to happen. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward through our second summer transfer window and head into Season 2 where we look at improving for the Champions League. Right then guys, so the transfer window isn't yet over, but it's the 31st of July. Obviously we're coming back a bit earlier this time around because of the Qatar World Cup. We've already played 1 game. We've had a 6-0 victory there over Genoa. I think that tells a story in itself of how we're going to perform this season. 6 goals and a clean sheet. That's the best in the league so far, and as you can see, they're top of the league. However, we're not here for that at the minute, as transfer budget-wise, I've still got £60 million in the bank, so we've spent some money. Overall balance, though, £198 million now. We've got a wage budget of 3.5 million. I'm currently spending 3.3, so we're doing all right. And those debt and loans have taken a nice dip down to 95 million pounds now. Net debt, transfer debt is 5 million. That's the other way around now. So we are owed 5 million by other clubs. So the first big out of the summer was Rodrigo Bentancur. He has gone off to Bayern Munich, the 25-year-old Uruguayan non-EU player, and I sold him on for a grand total of £42.5 million. Now, he played 29 times for his last season, 2 goals, 1 assist, a 6.98 rating. But yeah, decent money for him. Daniele Regani, one of my centre-backs, 28-year-old Italian with 7 caps, has gone off to Mainz for £5.25 million. Now, we've got some money out of him. We spent £4.2 million on him plenty of time ago. What's that now? 9 years ago. Rennes took him on loan for £1.3 million. Cagliari paying £675k to take him on loan. And yeah, Mainz taking him on for £5.25 million. He only played 4 times for his last season. So the goalkeeper that I brought in last season to help me out was Roman Berkey, and he has gone off to Flamengo. Now, he left us for £6 million. Didn't actually play a game last season. I brought him in to cover the injured Szczesny for £4.9 million. I'm quite glad that I got some money back for him and a little bit of profit. Another big outgoing was Alexandro, now 31-year-old, 39 caps for Brazil. Decent player, really is. 3-star though there. And we've sold him to Inter Milan, so he's staying in Serie A for £26 million. Last season he played 32 games, 10 assists, a 7.8 rating, a 7.08 rating. But again, you know, he's pushing on 31 now. Decent money for him. And again, another non-EU player. So coming in then, and I have spent big, Theo Hernandez joins us, left back, a real quality player, 24-year-old Frenchman with 7 caps, acceleration and pace 17 and 18, crossing and dribbling 15 and 16, the big things for me, and I brought him in for £62 million from Milan. So he'd already played 1 game for them this season, got an 8.2 rating, but £62 million, it is a lot of money, but it's value for money, I reckon. And yes, I brought in Philip Max there to play out, but he can also play out on the right-hand side. So yeah, happy to have Theo through the door. And then another big transfer was the wonder kid, elite attacker midfielder, Nicolo Zaniolo, 23-year-old with 7 caps for Italy and 2 goals. A really, really good player again. Can play behind the striker in all 3 positions. Predominantly going to play in the centre or out on that right-hand side. Acceleration 14, pace 16, that dribbling 16 as well. Composure of 14, determination of 16, off the ball 15, current ability 3-star, potential ability 4-star, now valued up to £78 million, and I brought him in from Roma for £38.5 million, where he's played 1 time and got 2 assists. And then finally, the marquee signing, Kylian Mbappe joins us on a free transfer, naturally, from PSG. 23-year-old, 60 caps, 25 goals for France, can play up front and out on that left-hand side, currently valued up to £130 million, and is an elite striker, 5 stars all around. This guy needs no introduction, does he? But he's yet to play a game for his last season at PSG, 32 games, 18 goals, 4 assists. That's quite poor by his standards, but yeah, Kylian Mbappe joining us as well. So as you can see then, obviously there's lots of other players that have left, nobody else really worth mentioning. I've sold players for a total of 100 million and I've spent 101 million pounds on 3 players. Well, 2 of them actually paying money for, and Mbappe on a free. Also, actually, it is worth mentioning Alvaro Morata. He has joined us for £30 million. We activated his release clause, obviously, as part of his loan deal with us. Scored 38 goals last season just in the league. He's played 1 game and scored 4 goals. So this guy, well worth the money as well. So tactically then, how am I going to set up? So this would be my starting 11. I've changed the formation now with 1 up front. We're playing with the Trekista, so we're playing a 4-2-3-1 on an attacking mentality, and that our tactical style is tick-attacker. So yeah, we're going with Szczesny in goal, Hernandez, Benucci, De Ligt, and Danilo out wide, with Locatelli and Rabiot in the middle, Mbappe, Kulusevski and Zaniolo with Morata up front. What a team that is. And on the bench, you know, we've got players like Winston McKennie, Moise Kean, Demiral, Ramsey. I'm trying to move off. He's on a free transfer. Hopefully teams will take him because I need to get them wages out of here. But some real good players. Luis Felipe in there, Pellegrini. Arthur is injured. So yes, there's going to be no more incomings. There may be another outgoing with Aaron Ramsey leaving us. So squad dynamics and how we look, and team cohesion good, club atmosphere is excellent, and my geo support is very good. Like I say, Aaron Ramsey he wants to go to Zenit. We'll let that happen. Pellegrini's disappointed that we didn't let him go to Shakhtar, but it was like £4 million offer. He's not going anywhere. And Weston McKennie wants a better deal. We'll sort that out for him. So looking at it then, I've got 14 players supporters, no players opposers, 10 players have no real opinion of us. Zaniolo moving up from influential players to highly influential players, so happy about that. Arthur dropping down to other players. So now looking at squad depth then, Mbappe is the best striker at the club apparently, but he's going to play on that left-hand side. Morata up front by himself. Obviously we've got Morata, Kajos and Moise Kean up there. We've got Kulusevski, Zaniolo behind the striker, and Mbappe out on the right-hand side. Again, it's probably going to be Zaniolo or Kulusevski. In the midfield, then, we've got Arthur, McKennie, Rabiot, Ramsey, Kulusevski. We've got loads of options in there. And on that left-hand side, we've got Philippe Max and Theo Hernandez out on that side. But Max can play out on the right-hand side as well. In the centre of defence, we've got De Ligt, Bonucci, Demiral. Demiral, very good player, was out on loan last season. Again, technically not the greatest, but those defensive attributes of heading, marking, tackling, all up there. And then in goal, I've got Chesney and Stefano Gori, 2-star, 26-year-old. He's out on loan last season at Como, 38 games, 38 conceded. So, happy with how things have gone so far. Could do a little bit more depth, but we've still got a very good squad, even on the bench. So looking at competitions, and obviously we've got the Serie A, the Champions League, the Coppa Italia, and the PS5 Super Cup. We're in the final of that one, again, against Inter Milan. Coppa Italia-wise hasn't been drawn. Obviously, Champions League is where we need the push because we haven't won the Champions League in some time. But Serie A-wise then, what is the expectation? The season preview, 11 to 10 favourites. Look at that. When we look at the Media Dream 11, then I've got Chesney, Hernandez, De Ligt, and Mbappe on there. I'm quite surprised not to see more players in there, but that squad is quality. Andrei Shevchenko taking over, as you know. Ronald Koeman at Fiorentina as well. I wonder what happened to Mourinho. So Jose Mourinho now unemployed, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see where he ends up. And then we start off with games, like I say, 6-0 against Genoa, 4 goals from Morata there, Philip Max with a goal, and Locatelli. But we've got Udinese, Roma, Torino, Milan, and Fiorentina as the next 5 games. Milan and Roma in there, difficult games. Fiorentina as well could cause us a problem. Who actually got promoted? Let's just have a look again at that season preview. So Parma, let's say, and Brescia all promoted. Salernitana, the team expected to go down and finish at the bottom of the table. So there we go then, guys. Massive season coming up for us again. We've really got to start pushing on in Europe. That is the way to go. So yes, join me on the other side of the break where hopefully we've got more silverware, Serie A title, Coppa Italia, Super Cup, Champions League trophy will be lovely as well. So yes, see you then. Right then, guys, so as things stand, we're at the end of Season 2, and as you can see, we've won the league. 97 points on the board, 13 points clear of AC Milan. Roma moving up in the third now, and Inter in fourth, making up the top 4, but we still have got a game to come. As you can see here, Juve against Red Bull. Massive, massive game, Champions League final. Red Bull, outperforming themselves, I would say there. Playing out the skin to get to a Champions League final. So yes, opportunity for us to win that bit of silverware. So what we're going to do is we're going to move forward and see how this pans out. So hopefully with this holiday going in then, this is it. One day surely against Leipzig. We've got to be picking up the trophy here. And do we? That's the main thing. Did we get the win? Oh, come on, schedule-wise then, down to the bottom, a moment of truth. We end up winning 2-0 against Leipzig, so there you go. We've won the Champions League within 2 seasons, and we had Locatelli sent off for a straight red card on 28, and we still overpowered them with 10 men, so there you go. Zaniolo with a goal on 54, Morata on 73. We had 15 shots, 7 on target. They had 17 and 2, deserved winners. So back to the league then, and this is how we performed with 38 games played, 31 wins, 4 draws, 3 defeats, similar to last season as we lost 1-0 to Inter, 1-0 to Empoli, and 2-1 to Inter again. As Empoli, they actually survived. Salernitana, a team that were expected to finish bottom of the league, did. So yes, 115 goals scored, 26 conceded, plus 89 goal difference. 89 points on the board. Very happy with that. Let's have a look at the past positions. We were sat in the top 2 for the majority of the season. Top spot basically since match day 16. But what about the rest of the competitions then? So it looks like it's been a clean sweep, which it has. 2-0 in the final against Leipzig to win the Champions League. The Coppa Italia ended up winning. What happened there is we won 4-1 against Inter Milan. As you see, we absolutely dominated. 19 shots, 9 on target. Mbappe, Zaniolo, Morata and Bonucci with goals there. And then we win in the final as well, I see, in the Super Cup. A 3-0 victory there against Inter Milan. Got to feel hard done by Inter Milan getting to those finals and losing them, yeah. But Mbappe with 2 goals and Kulusevski as well. 16 shots, 7 on target. Absolutely dominating. And so plenty of silverware for us this season. When we look at the finances then, I've got £172 million in the overall balance. We've got £72 million in the transfer budget. And my wage budget, £3.7 million. I've got 600k to play with there. Debt and loans wise then, £106 million net debt. And I transferred debt down to £5.8 million. But what about the squad dynamics then after that season? Trophy-laden season as it was. Team cohesion's excellent. Club atmosphere is excellent as well. And my Geo support is very good. I've still got players unhappy. Weston McKennie still wants a new deal. Philip Max wants to start more games. What is he valued at now? Up to £34 million. Then Luis Felipe wants an improved contract. So looking at it here then, I've got 13 players to support us, 9 players have no real opinion of us, and nobody opposes us. So things are still going well there. What about the social groups? We've got 2 groups now, the core one and the secondary. I would have expected everybody to be in the core social group, but it's just not meant to be. And then looking at the player stats, Morata got 49 goals this season. Again, let's see how he got on compared to everyone else. So he's the top goal scorer again with 38 goals. Mauro Icardi with 32 goals from Milan there. And Immobile, who was up there last season with 28 goals. But we are dominating. Player of the match performances, Mbappe with 12, Immobile with 8. Most shots, Morata. Most key passes, Mbappe. Even clean sheets, Szczesny getting 21 clean sheets this season. Absolutely dominating. But like I say, Mbappe had the highest average rating with an 8. Most assists was Theo Hernandez with 21. Best pass completion was Matthias de Ligt with 97%. Most player of the match awards was Mbappe with 17. Most yellow cards was Locatelli with 19. And most red cards was Demiral with 2. And then looking at those team stats wise then, so we played 38 matches, 115 goals scored, which is the best. 26 goals conceded, which is the best. Yellow cards though, 112 yellow cards, which is the worst, in 38 matches. That's a really poor show. Red cards, 2, which is 9th worst, and the overall attendance was just over 40,000 again. So there we go. We've had a clean sweep this time round, but that means obviously we've got the Club World Cup to be playing in over the next season. So yes, we've dominated, we've brought European silverware back to Juve, but we've just got to continue doing that while spending money and trying to balance the books. Right then guys, so we're back for Season 3, and if you've liked it, like I say, leave a thumbs up, gotta subscribe, come on, there's plenty more going on. Yes, it's been fairly easy, 2 seasons in, completed it mate, we've still got that Club World Cup Championship, but yeah, it's all rosy so far. I don't know what Allegri's doing, you know, what an absolute clown. He's average manager at best, you know, bossed it in 2 seasons and all that, but definitely loads to do still in the next 3 seasons. All about the finances, which I've just about sorted out now. Obviously, we've brought a couple of players in, Moiskin and Locatelli, now signed on permanent deals after loan. But yeah, let's just look at the finances first of all. So finances-wise then, £58 million in the transfer budget, £3.7 million in that wage budget, and I'm currently spending 2.9, so we're bossing there. Overall balance is £322 million now. When we look at debt and loans, no debt. All gone, all cleared. Transfer debt, we're owed £14 million, so we're in a very good place. So players leaving us then, the first player out the door is Philip Max, a player that joined us when I first took over the club. We paid £19.5 million for him, played 34 games in the first season, 19 last season with 2 goals and 3 assists. But West Ham come in, £35 million, I think he's 29 now as well, so yeah, a decent deal for us. Mera Demiral has gone off to Barcelona, went for £33.5 million. He was actually out on loan when I first took over. He was at Atalanta where he played 34 times. He played 24 times for his last season now, a 7.27 rating. And yeah, he's now valued at £104 million, so maybe I undercooked that and let him go for cheaper than I should have done. 25-year-old, he's a good player, but we've got better options coming in. And then the last player to go was Adrien Rabiot. He has gone off to Manchester United on a free transfer. He didn't want to stay with us. We got him on a free. Played last season 29 times, 3 goals, 6 assists, a 7.06 rating. But yeah, free transfer to United. Good player, 28-year-old, plenty of caps. Currently continental reputation. But yeah, he's left on a free. So joining us on a free then is the 28-year-old American with 51 caps, Zach Steffen. So we've got him from Manchester City, where we got him on a free transfer. He only played a handful of times, 1 time in the last 3 seasons. So yes, we've got him on a free. Obviously going to come in and be back up to Szczesny, who's still got plenty of time with us. Then strengthening out on the wide areas, I've brought in Diogo Dalot. Now, you know, stats-wise, doesn't look that good. He's always been good for me in other rebuilds that I've done. So yeah, I brought him in for £16.25 million from Man United, where he played 3 times last season, got a 6.55 rating. So hopefully he does better for us. Renan Lodi, now 25-year-old, 15 casts for Brazil, for me has been a quality player again. Really good player, 16 acceleration, 14 pace, start dribbling 16 with crossing 15 as well. Passing 16, defensively he's not bad, marking 14 as well as tackling 13. Can play out on that left-hand side. When you see it highlighted, he's got the attributes in all the right areas. Current ability 2.5 star, potential ability 4 star. Valued up to 21 million, and I spent 20 million pounds on him. After he went to Bayern Munich for 19.5 million, they managed to make a 500k profit. Played 7 times from last season, a 7.32 rating out, and a very good option out there with Theo Hernandez. And then lastly, I want to strengthen out at centre-back. So I've brought in Goncalo Inacio. Now, very good player, 21-year-old, 15 for Portugal already. He can play as the centre-back. He's unconvinced now at left-back, but yeah, predominantly centre-back. Heading 16, marking 15, tackling 13. Those arrows heading in the wrong direction make it look worse than what it is, but he's a very good player. Currently valued at £70 million. He's got a worldwide reputation as an elite centre-back. Current ability 3-star, potential ability 4-star. And I brought him in for £36 million. I am happy with that. Played 33 tests of Sporting last season with 2 goals, 3 assists, 3 player of match performances, and a 7.34 rating. A very good option. Certainly a starter as one of my centre-back too. So tactically then, this is how we're going to line up. So we are going to stick with that 4-2-3-1. It's done me proud over the last couple of seasons. So we're going to go with Chesney in goal, Hernandez, Inacio, Delit and Dalot out wide, with McKennie and Arthur in the middle, Mbappe, Kulusevski and Zaniolo out wide, and Morata up front. Quality player. We're still going on an attacker mentality. We're playing that tiki-taka. And then looking at the competition, so I've got the Serie A, the UEFA Champions League, the UEFA Super Cup. Here we go against Tottenham, the Coppa Italia, and the PS5 Super Cup in Italy as well. When we look at the media prediction, surely we are up there. So yes, God, we are favourites by a country mile to win. Inter 7-1 in second. Spezia favourites to go down 900-1. When we look at the media dream 11, I've got Chesney, Hernandez, De Ligt, Zaniolo, Mbappe, Moise Kean in there as well, and he wasn't even in my starting 11. So very, very good options there. Andriy Shevchenko, now mind you of Genoa. But yeah, really good options. What was the biggest transfer of the summer then? Nicolas Gonzalez leaving Fiorentina to go to Borussia Dortmund for £57 million. He's not a bad player at all, neither is he, but that's a lot of money. So looking at the squad dynamics-wise then, team cohesion, club atmosphere and manager support is all very good. Luis Felipe wants a better chance. He actually wants to leave the club. I have offered him out, I believe. Is he transfer listed? He's not, but he is wanted by Porto. He may leave before the summer is out. I don't really want him to go. When we're looking at top influencers wise then, I've got 3 players that have no real opinion of us, but 19 players now support us. Social groups wise, we're getting more players in that core social group. Couple of players now, McKennie and Stefan, both the Americans actually, in a secondary social group. So finally then, before we move on, we've got this game against Spurs, so we'll just holiday it for the one day. Hopefully we get the win. Carlo Ancelotti, I just seen the manager there for Spurs, you know, he has got pedigree, hasn't he? So hopefully our current form and the way we've been playing gets us the win. And then looking at the competitions, did we win it? We actually finished runner-up. What was the result? 2-1. So we've lost out in the Super Cup this time round. Theo Hernandez sent off for a straight red card on 40 minutes. We were actually 1-0 up there again. We dominated, 23 shots, 13 on target. But yeah, Theo Hernandez, straight red. What a clown. Verissimo, what a defender he is as well. With a goal on 47 minutes. How much did they pay for him? 31 million from Benfica. And then Harry Kane, 77 minutes. So yeah, hearts broken there. So what we're going to do then is we are going to move forward. We're going to try and get over that setback, win the league again, go for Champions League back to back, and just keep filling up that trophy cabinet. So yes, join me at the end of season 3 where hopefully, like I say, more silverware being added. Right then guys, end of season 3, and as you can see we have dominated again. 108 points on the board this time, 20 points clear of Inter Milan in second place, Milan in third, Bologna 76 points on the board, just pipping Roma by 1 goal additional. 27 goals scored for Bologna, 26 goals scored for Roma. So yeah, looking good for us again in the league. When we have a look at the league table, and as you can see, 38 games, 35 wins, 3 draws and no defeats. So we're undefeated in this season as well. An invincible season for us. 0-0 draw with Empoli, 2-2 Milan and 2-2 with Fiorentina. 133 goals scored, 28 conceded, 105 goal difference. 108 points on the board. We absolutely dominated. When we look at these past positions, we've got to be thereabouts all season. Absolutely. Inter, how have they done? In the top 3, sat in second place for the majority of the season as well. So yeah, as expected, we win the league again. When we look at competitions, we'll look at that first then. So in the Serie A, we ended up winning 108 points on the board. The Champions League actually still good. That's we're going to take on Barcelona in the final. Where is the final being held? It's being held at Wembley. So there we go. Super Cup, we've seen it, we were running up, obviously losing to Tottenham. In the Coppa Italia, we ended up winning 2-1 in extra time against Roma. Morata with a goal on 20. They got a goal on 90 minutes before Mbappe on 102. And in the PS5 Super Cup, we won that as well. So 3-0 against Inter there. And we look at it again, it looks like we dominated. Morata with 2 goals, 9 and 18. And Musiala. So Musiala joining us halfway through. So he joined us for £79 million in the January transfer window. as I've completely messed this one up again. So when we look at the transfers and the outgoings, Kulusevski will be leaving us on a free transfer. I've absolutely ballsed it up. I didn't sort out his contract. I let too much time go by. Tried to renew it after the transfer window had closed in September. He was not interested, and he leaves us on a free transfer, and he's going to Chelsea. That's £100 million down the Swanee. I could have easily got that for him. However, as you can see there, I have got one new player joining us, Rafinha, 27-year-old. Doesn't really need any introduction. Quality player, can go out on that left and right hand side. So yes, that's where we are at the minute. But we have got this game against Barcelona Champions League final. So we'll just skip forward for a day. As you can see there, that's going to happen. Go on holiday for one day. Hopefully we get the win. It'll be a clean sweep once again if we do. Roberto Mancini, the manager there as well. Obviously, Carlo Ancelotti doing us when we took on Spurs. But I am hopeful at Wembley. Let's have a look then. Competitions-wise, we were the winner. We won 1-0 against Barcelona. So Kulusevski, on his last game at the club, gets a goal on 34 minutes. We had 22 shots, 8 on target. It's fair to say that we've absolutely dominated this one, but I'm not quite sure. Let's have a look. Club World Cup. See what happens when it comes up. Why isn't that happening? So that happens on the 16th of June. So we've got just over a year away before we take place in that competition. So we're going to get an opportunity anyway to win the Club World Cup. Finances wise then, this transfer budget, we've got £149 million to spend. 100% of transfer revenues being made available. We've got £3.7 million wage budget. We've got £242 million in the overall balance. Debt and loans wise, we've got £14 million net debt. But we're looking good overall. Proper turned it around as far as finances go. Squad dynamics wise then for the end of the season, team cohesion very good, club atmosphere very good, and manager support is excellent. We've got other players that are unhappy, but have I got anybody that dislikes us? No, 19 player supporters, 3 players have no real opinion of us. And then when we look at the player stats then, Kylian Mbappe got 54 goals this season, wowzers. So 43 in the league, 22 assists, 20 player of the match performances, and that is just in the league. Let's have a look at his performance then overall. He's got to be top goal scorer. He has 43 goals for Mbappe. Morata got 35 in second. Immobile up there again with 33. And Lautaro Martinez for Inter Milan with 25 goals. So it's going to be a clean sweep for Mbappe, isn't it? Highest average rating, 8.45. Most assists, 38 for Mbappe. Best pass completion was De Ligt with 97%. Most player of the match awards was 28 for Mbappe across all competitions. Most yellow cards, Theo Hernandez with 21. He also got the most red cards with 2, and also Moise Kean in there with 2 red cards as well. But then we look at the team stats. 38 matches played, 133 goals this season. That's just in the league, which is the best. Goals conceded, 28, which is the best. Yellow cards, 116, second worst. Red cards wise, 2, which is the 10th worst. And average attendance, 40,000, 4th best. Absolutely dominating this one. I did say, and I've probably said it 2-3 times now throughout this SIF, I wanted something to get myself back into the swing of things. And within 3-4 seasons, we've done it. So yes, we've got 2 more seasons to go. Obviously, you've got to replace Kulusevski. I've done that a little bit, but yeah, we'll see what we can do spending this £150 million in this summer transfer window. Right then, Season 4 is about to start, and we come up against Chelsea in the UEFA Super Cup. Obviously, we lost this one last time out, so the first thing we're going to do is we are just going to skip forward for one day to watch us bottle it again as we take on a leg-riz Chelsea. So there we go. Bit of narrative there for you as we could end up losing out on this one. And we lose on penalties. Not ideal again. Who are a player that I've just brought in actually misses out. So yes, there you go. A little bit of a spoiler. We've lost out there. You can see a player that we've bought as well. We'll look at finances first of all. We've got £66 million left in the transfer budget. I still have got one more deal to get over the line. Wage budget wise is £3.4 million, and we're currently spending £3.3 million. Overall balance £323 million, and we're looking good for debt. So let's have a look at the transfers. So players leaving, and obviously Kulusevski, he left on a free transfer, now valued up to £170 million. Absolutely blew it. Shocking. Didn't look after me contracts, and this is what happened. So yeah, 31 appearances, 10 goals, left on a free transfer. Morata has left. This has been an absolute hero since I took over the club. But 31-year-old now, he has gone back to Real Madrid. Currently valued at £133 million. That's not a true valuation, but he's gone for £36 million. We brought him in for 30. He scored 35 goals in 33 appearances last season. A proven goal scorer, but like I say, 31-year-old, let him go. Danilo, another player to leave, went off to Shakhtar Donetsk in Ukraine, left for £9.25 million. 24 games for his last season, a 7.1 rating. But again, an older player now, 33-year-old, time to move him on. Then Wojciech Szczesny left. He's gone off to Zenit St. Petersburg for 14.75 million. Great deal for us there. Yes, he's more or less ever present season after season. But again, cracking on. 34-year-old he is now. Probably in his prime still, but I wanted to do a proper rebuild, bring in some young players and really start this squad afresh. So yeah, Szczesny, he has gone off to Russia. So joining us then, the first player through the door is 27-year-old Brazilian with 13 caps, 1 goal, Rafinha. Now, doesn't really need an introduction. He's been in a couple of rebuilds that I've done before. Got him on a free transfer from Leeds. Last season he played 38 games in the Premier League, so ever present, with 7 goals, 4 assists, 3 player of the match performance. He's a very good player, can play out on the left and right hand side. That acceleration 16, pace 15, crossing 14, dribbling 16. He can do bits and he'll do very well for us this season. So with Morata leaving then, I went for another Spaniard. I brought in a 23-year-old Firmino. Now, 16 finishing, acceleration 13, pace 14. He's got that balance of 10. That will be the one bit I would worry about. Composure 14 now. Not a proven goal scorer by any means. You know, Villarreal last season in the league, he played 21 times, 7 goals, 3 assists. But I still think he can do bits for us. In 22-23, he played 19 games, scoring 12 goals. So I think if you have him up front, he'll get 30 goals this season, I reckon. As you can see, 5 goals in 2 games in friendlies. Then I obviously needed a new number 1, and I brought in Gregor Kobel, 26-year-old Swiss with 1 cap. Brought him in for 32.5 million from Borussia Dortmund, where he played 27 games last season, conceded 24, 11 clean sheets. Decent player, and he's only going to get better. Nowhere near his prime, but he's going to come in as my number 1 anyway. And then the big spend was Hasamoua. Now, we bought him in for £75 million from Lyon, where last season he played 31 times and scored 14 goals from the midfield, so 7.36. He also scored 14 goals the season before. Quality player, like I say, wants to play in the midfield, probably going to play him behind the striker. 17 dribbling, 17 first touch. That long shot's 10, you know, I'd like him to pull the trigger a little bit more. But 16 flair, off the ball 16, composure 16, even that acceleration and pace ball 15. Again, a really good player with 18 caps for France, and he's an elite attacking midfielder. So one more player that I'm trying to get in then is the 24-year-old Frenchman, Mohamed Simakan. So he can play as a centre-back, but predominantly I'm going to play him out on the right-hand side with acceleration and pace 14 and 15. That crossing and dribbling 11 apiece, look to improving on it. But yeah, he's gone to Leipzig for 12.75 million. Only actually played 5 games last season, and I've got a £30 million bidding for him. So hopefully we'll get that over the line. So tactics then with the change of squad, we're still going to line up with the 4-2-3-1, tiki-taka on an attacking mentality. We've got Kobel in goal, Renan Lodi and Accio, De Ligt and Dalot out wide, with Locatelli and McKennie in the middle, and Mbappé and Zaniolo as my 3 behind Nino up front. What a team that is. So squad dynamics then, I've got a couple of unhappy players, but not too many. Team cohesion, club atmosphere is good, and my geo support is very good. Top influences wise then, 12 player supporters, 11 players have no real opinion of us. And for the schedule wise then, we've got the Serie A, the Champions League, the Super Cup, which we've just finished the run up, Coppa Italia, and the PS5 Super Cup, where we'll take on Roma. The expectation this season is surely to win the league again. Favourites with Inter in second, AC Milan and Roma in the top 4. As far as the Media Dream 11 goes, we've got Hernandez, De Ligt, Uaz, Zaniolo, Musiala and Mbappe. What more can you say? You know, obviously haven't got that favourite goalkeeper now with Szczesny leaving, but we've still got plenty of players in there. So finally then, looking at the schedule, we've had a decent pre-season. Like I say, there's no real challenges there. A 6-0 victory over Atalanta. But yeah, to lose in the Super Cup, that is painful. But we've got a game against Sassuolo, Inter, Bologna, Fiorentina and Parma as the first 5 games. And I reckon, once again, you know, we'll be dominating Serie A. We have got the Club World Cup coming towards the end of June, July. So yeah, big opportunity for us to pick up another bit of silverware. So join me at the end of Season 4, where hopefully that is the case. So Season 4 over then, and I'm 12 months away from ending this save. So as you can see, again, we've bossed the league, 105 points on the board. Roma, Inter, AC Milan finishing in the top 4. It was very close there. 1 point between second and fourth. That's good for us. Past positions wise, we've been sat top all the way through. Actually, second game of the season, we were down into 9th. Roma, did they snatch it towards the end? Inter then dropping off down into 4th place and back up into 3rd on the final game of the season. Looking at ourselves in competitions wise then, Sasario we dominated. We've got the Club World Cup coming up in 13 days. The Champions League, we were knocked out in the quarter-final by Manchester United. Let's have a look there. So we ended up losing 2-1 after getting a 1-0 victory at home. In the Super Cup, we actually lost that one. Obviously, we were runner-up. Coppa Italia were knocked out in the quarter-final by Inter Milan. We were just beaten 3-2 there. Let's have a look. So they had 10 shots, 6 on target. We had 25 and 9, and they get the victory. Their goalkeeper, Juan Musso, with a 7.4 rating. Kobel for us on a 6.5. Not ideal. So we didn't get the Coppa Italia. However, we did win the Super Cup against Roma. 7-2 there. We battered them. 4 goals for Mbappe in that one. Moise Kean with the goals. Zaniolo, Winston McKennie. 15 shots, 10 on target, 7 goals. So looking at finances then, overall balance is now up to £265 million. Transfer budget £192 million. My wage budget is up to £4 million. I'm currently spending 3.5. So looking at debt and loans then, yeah, solid, looking really good there still. So player stats wise, then the top goal scorer is Kylian Mbappe with 54 goals. Again, he's absolutely tearing it up history wise then. 39 goals in the league this time, but scores goals for fun. 15 assists, 17 player of the match performances. Let's have a look again and see how that fares to everybody else. So player overview. You can see there Mbappe with 39 goals. Zaniolo with 21. Immobile with 32. He scores plenty of goals as well, didn't he? Let's have a look. You know, in the league, 32, 33, 28, 33. Loves a goal. So highest average rate now was Mbappe with an 8.21. Most assists, Mbappe with 23. Best pass completion was AIO with 96%. Most player of the match awards, Mbappe with 24. Most yellow cards was Theo Hernandez with 19. And no red cards this season. So let's have a look at the team stats wise then. You can see we scored 118 goals in 38 games played. 27 goals conceded, which is the best. 91 yellow cards, which is the third worst, and 0 red cards, and we had just over 40,000 attendance again. So dominating. Last season though, this is the last season coming up, my last 12 months in charge, but we have got the Club World Cup to be winning. Unfortunately though, you know, we just didn't do it in Europe this time round. Right, here we go then guys, the final season, and just got to look at the finances straight away. We've still got £162 million in the transfer budget. I have brought a couple of players in, but the only place that I really felt I need to strengthen was goalkeeper out and out. You know, Kobel, who'd gone in there, wasn't really a world-class goalkeeper, but I'm not paying £200 million for a goalkeeper. You know, Donnarumma, £300 million, it's just not happening. So I haven't gone out and spent it. Yes, I could have just continued rebuilding, but I think I've assembled quite a decent squad. Well, obviously I have. I've won the Champions League twice in 4 seasons, so yeah, we're doing alright. But overall balance, £440 million. Wage budget £4 million. I'm 300k under that. Debt and loans, banging. £51 million owed to the club from transfers that we've made. So yeah, we've still got another £51 million coming into the club. So players leaving, Akio Jorge has left and he's gone off to Bologna for £8.25 million. He was actually on loan at Auxerre last season when he played 34 times, scored 8 goals, didn't do too much. I did say at the start of this save that this guy was a wonder kid, but he's done nothing for me. And the big transfer out was Moise Kean going to Manchester City for £86 million. I'm happy with that. He had a cracking season for his last season though. 35 games played, 18 goals, 5 assists, 2 player of the match performances, but yeah, £86 million, that's a great deal for us, but when you look at it there, he's now valued at £176 million. Very good player, 25-year-old, only going to get better, but I'm in my final season, so why not cash in? So joining us then, Chiesa. I let this guy go. Obviously, we had him when I started off, and I completely misunderstood. I thought the deal was done and dusted, but it was an option to buy, not a mandatory fee that I thought it was. So yeah, he's valued up to £88 million now. Can play out on the left and right hand side. Can play up front as well if you want him to. 27-year-old, 73 caps for Italy, and I got him on a free transfer from Fiorentina. So a good deal for us there. Then I brought in continental midfielder Samuel Ricci. Now this guy is an under-21 Italian international, not fully capped yet. Very, very good player. 24-year-old. He is going to get full international caps. It may have been not in this last 12 months, but he's definitely going to get there. Current ability 2.5 star, potential ability 3 star. Valued at £26 million, and we're going for £23.5 million. He's basically been ever present for the last 3-4 seasons, especially the last 2, 34-35, and he's played 1 game for us already. So yes, Samuel Ricci, decent player, can play deeper should I want to, but he's not going to play there. And then finally, I spent the big money, £64 million on Victor Osimhen. What a player. Now, he's at Manchester City, so Moise Kean going one way. And obviously, Victor Osimhen coming over. It's not a connected deal, naturally, but he's played one time in the Serie A already and scored 2 goals, so a decent start for him. But yeah, Man City paid £118 million for him, and we're going for 64 million, so that's a good deal. He's a pacey goal scorer, continental reputation, that finishing of 16, composure 14, acceleration 17, but pace of 19. This guy, like I say, already within the one game that he's played, he scored 2 goals, a great start. So looking at us tactically then, we're still playing the same way. For me, the only area that we needed to improve was in goal and probably out of right back, but I'm happy with how we're set up anyway. So let's just sort this out for being my best 11. So my best 11 as it would be is Kobel in goal, Hernandez, Inacio, De Ligt and Dalot at the back, with Locatelli and Riki now in the middle, Mbappe, Or and Zaniolo out wide with Osimhen up front. So really, really good team. Still playing a tick-attacker with the attacker mentality. Competitions-wise then, we absolutely blew the Club Cup World Cup. When we have a look, it'll now be at the back end of last season, won't it? So when we scroll in right down to the bottom, we were beaten 3-2 in the quarter-final by Manchester City. To make this worse, this whole thing, is that Inter Milan beat Manchester United 2-1 in the final. So Inter, a team that we smash season in, season out, are Club World Cup champions, and they won 2-1 against Manchester United in the final. Bruno Fernandes missing a penalty in 13 minutes, shocking. But yeah, not good for us there. But we've got the Champions League, the Coppa Italia and the Super Cup this time round. Surely we are favourites once again. When we look at the season preview, yes we are. And this season, we've got Hernandez, Inacio, De Ligt, Musiala, Zaniolo, Chiesa and Mbappe. The majority of the team now is our club, which is a fantastic place to be. And one thing to mention as well, we're up against Napoli in the next game. Gareth Southgate, the manager there, tearing it up in the Serie A. I say tearing it up. Not really, they've won the first game, but we take them on next. We've already played one game, actually, a 5-1 victory over Crotone there. Osimhen with 2 goals, like I say, Mbappe with 2 and Zaniolo. We actually conceded in 12 minutes, not ideally, only had 1 shot on target, so no clean sheet for us. But when we look at the dynamics of the squad, then team cohesion is good, club atmosphere is very good, and manager support is also very good. Locatelli wants a new deal, I can sort that out. I've got no players that oppose us, 10 players support us, 11 players have no real opinion of us. Social groups wise, Osimhen and Ricky are the 2 players that aren't in the core social group, 2 players that joined us. So everybody, we've got a bit of squad harmony going on. Schedule-wise, then in our next 5 games, like I say, Gareth Southgate's Napoli, Genoa, Lazio, Torino and Inter. Inter obviously the team to beat, considering they are Club World Cup champions. Kills me to say that, but it is what it is. So yes, last season then, guys, money spent. You know, I have left the war chest for the next manager. Financially we're sorted. It's just about, in our last season, can we win that Champions League for the 3rd time out of 5 seasons? Right then, guys, so that is it. The rebuild is over, 5 seasons down, and as you can see, we have won the league again. That's 5 seasons on the bounce, 106 points. You know, we've absolutely dominated again. You can see there, 22 points, clear of Inter Milan. AC Milan on 84 points, Fiorentina on 70. You know, we've just ran riot all the way through this. 38 games played, 35 wins, 1 draw, 2 defeats. Who were those defeats? 2. We lost to Bologna 1-0 and we got beat 4-3 by Inter Milan. Shocking. 130 goals scored, 29 conceded, plus 101 goal difference. And when we look at the past positions, it's got to be good for us. There you go. Within the top 2 all the way through. Inter in the top 2 all the way through as well. AC Milan, they climb back to sit themselves in 3rd place from match day 19. So it's all good for us. When we look at the competitions wise, then we actually won the Champions League. That was the big thing. So we've actually won it 3 out of 5 seasons. A 3-1 victory over Chelsea there. Mbappe with 2 goals on 23 and the penalty in first half. Stoppage time. Osimhen with a goal on 84. Kai Havertz with a goal on 59. Fairly even game in fairness. 48% possession we managed, but we get the victory nonetheless. The Coppa Italia were knocked out in the semi-final by Inter Milan. We lost 5-4 in aggregate. A 3-1 defeat there, as you can see. Martinez, Guedes and Sensi with goals who are no good there. And then we're the runner-up as well in the PS5. Oh, Inter Milan doing us again. So we have dominated them over the seasons, but Inter Milan have cost us this time round. But it doesn't matter. We've got the Champions League and the Serie A. But the finances wise, then we've got £228 million to play with next season. Well, I have and somebody else has. I've got 700k to spend extra on the wage budget. Debt and loan wise, 0 there. And £416 in the overall balance. Winning the Champions League, winning the Serie A gives you all kind of revenue. and he's done it for us there. So when we look at the squad dynamics then, what's squad harmony like when I leave? Team cohesion's very good, club atmosphere is good, my geo support is also very good. Rafinha wants to start more games, Firmino isn't happy. I would imagine he's been just left by the side. He has 36.5 million, first season not too bad, 20 games, 11 goals, but only 6 games this season with 2 goals. So Firmino ruined him, but he's valued at £36 million. There's an opportunity to get our money back should we want to move him on. Let's have a look at it here then. So I've got 11 players to support us, 10 players have no real opinion of us. That's similar to the start of the season, but what's the social group like now? They're all in the core social group, so yeah, all for one and one for all and all that. So then looking at the player stats, Kylian Mbappe got 45 goals this season. That's not great for him by his standards, you know, he's caught short there. But let's have a look at the league table and look at the player overview. Top goal scorer was Mbappe with 34 goals. Immobile there again with 29. Osimhen with 27 goals. What did he do in all competitions? 39 goals in 41 starts for him. Not bad going at all. But then Mbappe with a clean sweep. As you can see, the highest average rating of an 8.15. Most assists, 30. Best pass completion was De Ligt with 96%. Mbappe with 22 player of the match awards. Most yellow cards was Theo Hernandez with 21. I think that's most seasons for him. And red cards too for Diego Dalot. Not ideal there. So when we look at team stats wise then, 130 goals scored, which is the best. Goals conceded, 29, also the best. Yellow cards wise though, 98 this season, which is the second worst. That's probably the lowest yellow cards we've had in a season. Red cards wise 2, which is the 10th worst. And average attendance, similar again, just over 40,000. So looking then at the milestones, as we can see, there's plenty of wins there. We started off in 2021, I was hired as the manager. By the end of the season, I'd won the Serie A and the PS5 Super Cup. The season after that, we won the Champions League, the Serie A, the Coppa Italia and the PS5 Super Cup. So we'd won everything we possibly could be winning there. We go into the next season, obviously we were runners-up in the overall Super Cup. We had an absolute shocker there, but we did win the Italian Super Cup. I was entered into the Italy Hall of Fame. We won the Coppa Italia, the Serie A and the Champions League again. Then the season after, it was a bit of a quiet one as I won the Italian Super Cup and the Serie A. And then this season, I've won the Serie A, I've entered into the European Hall of Fame, and I've won the Champions League again for the 3rd time in 5 seasons. So then looking at the job history, as you can see, that's it all set up. Position, we won the league 5 years on the bounce. And then the overview, I bought 20 players, that was it, across the entirety of the rebuild for £625 million. I sold a total of 102 players for £423 million. Some big money coming in, not too much going out. Highest fee spent was £79 million for Jamal Musiala, and the highest fee received was Moise Kean, who I just sold at the start of this season for £86 million. Overall, I spent 1,791 days in the game. I spent 1,740 days on holiday, so I only really spent 51 days actually in the game over 5 years. That is bad going. All my business being done in a couple of days, holiday it until it's done, and there we go. That is probably the most time out of anyone. 97.15% of my time was spent on holiday on this rebuild. What a time to be alive. But there we go then, guys. A fairly easy rebuild, I would say, just to get myself back in, you know, dust off the cobwebs and so on. So the next one will be a toughie. I'm thinking, obviously, I'm going to go with one of the smaller leagues, with one of the fallen giants within that league as well. I'm not going to name it. There's a couple of options out there. However, I am going to leave something on my community tab. Feel free to vote for that next club. I've got 4 clubs available that I'm going to go for or want to give a go. You let me know which one tickles your fancy, and that'll be the first one to be released over the next couple of weeks. So yes, thank you very much for watching. Like I said at the start, if you are new to the channel and you've watched it all the way through, first of all, thanks for that. But please like and subscribe. It would mean a lot. But yeah, thanks again for joining us. Take care, and I'll catch you later. Ta-ra.